Are you ready to face a future where your pantry essentials become as elusive as a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow? Picture this: canned beans, flour, and cooking oils slipping out of reach just when you need them the most. This isn't a baseless scare, it's a reality driven by skyrocketing inflation, unpredictable weather, supply chain chaos, and geopolitical disruptions, all merging into a storm that could forever alter our shopping habits and dining experiences. The stakes? Higher than ever. History teaches us that during every major natural disaster or upheaval, industries and investors pounce on opportunities. Look back at Hurricane Katrina. Property magnates raked in fortunes overnight. It's a repeated pattern, with echoes heard in Maui and beyond as corporations strategically eye our food sources. The government has been manipulating weather for years, with Project Cirrus in 1947 as a glaring example, redirecting hurricanes and wreaking havoc. Yet for some, such calamities are mere windfalls. Will you let your food security drown in this turbulent sea of corporate greed and government meddling? Act now by stockpiling these 7 crucial grocery products before November arrives and time runs out. 7. Flour. Picture this: you stroll down the baking aisle, only to find empty shelves where bags of flour used to sit. A stark reminder of a global crisis that has turned the everyday act of baking into a luxury. Flour might not yet be on your radar as something you'll struggle to find or afford, but the ingredients for this staple crisis are simmering, poised to boil over by November. In Kansas, famously known as America's breadbasket, wheat fields are yielding their smallest harvest in over a decade. This isn't merely a Kansas problem; wheat serves as a staple ingredient worldwide. Less production means less flour, which translates into a genuine global concern. The situation is exacerbated by the ongoing geopolitical struggles in regions like Russia and Ukraine, which together contribute nearly 30% to the global wheat export market. With such crucial suppliers in jeopardy, the world's flour supply is hanging by a thin thread. Visualize paying $15 or more for a bag of flour that cost only $4 a few months ago, if you can even find it. This isn't just a theoretical price increase; it hits hard at the core of your food budget, disrupting your daily routines. Imagine the impact on your morning pancakes, the bread filling your children's lunchboxes, or your evening homemade pizzas. Flour could transform from a common cupboard item to a black market commodity, fiercely coveted and fought over. If this sounds exaggerated, think again. In 2022, we witnessed flour rationing in numerous countries, including several developed nations, not just those often bogged down by economic hardships. In an era where food security is increasingly tenuous, those with flour tucked away can continue crafting their breads, pastas, and other staples from scratch. Those without face a harrowing dependency on a volatile market landscape. When your grocery store starts limiting flour purchases to 1 bag per customer, and the baking section becomes a wasteland, you'll deeply regret not having stocked up while you had the chance. Imagine flour as your passport to food security in a world that's rapidly teetering on the brink of scarcity. It's not just flour; it represents survival, comfort, and normalcy in uncertain times. As November approaches, remember that securing those extra bags might just be the wisest investment you'll make. At number 6, we have something that hits home for many: ground beef. Now, before you think you can outsmart the shortage by opting for different meats, let's unpack why it's not that simple. The entire meat industry is interconnected, a domino effect waiting to happen. When the price of beef becomes prohibitive, it sets off a chain reaction, boosting demand and subsequently prices of pork and poultry too. Suddenly, that casual burger or comforting meatloaf might start feeling like a luxury reserved for special occasions. Picture scenarios already unfolding in places like Venezuela and Argentina, where food shortages have driven ground beef onto the black market at jaw-dropping prices. This isn't a distant possibility; it's a scenario that could easily occur in the U.S., affecting everyday American families. Weekend barbecues, chili night dinners, and those once effortless spaghetti bolognese evenings could soon be facing extinction. The inability to afford ground beef isn't just a dietary issue; it reveals a deeper economic struggle. Fast food chains, those bastions of the affordable meal, have already started inching up their prices. Many are offering smaller portions while quietly hiking the cost of their menu items. You might want to reminisce, as the era of the $1 burger is potentially becoming a myth. Still convinced that you've got time before facing this new reality? Let's look closer. The impending impact is already making headlines. Grocery stores across the Midwest are reporting an unheard of scarcity of meat, prompting some to limit customer purchases to just 1 or 2 packages. Within the last quarter alone, wholesale prices have leaped nearly 40%. Imagine a future trip to your local supermarket turning down the now empty meat aisle, or encountering a small packet of ground beef with a sticker shock price tag $20, $25, possibly more for a single pound. As the thought sinks in, it becomes clearer why ground beef lands squarely on our list of grocery store staples that will be worth their weight in gold come November. 5. Rice. When we think of rice, we often picture a readily available staple, gracing the tables of countless households and anchoring dishes in many cuisines. But what if that humble bag of rice suddenly became a prized commodity? As we head into November, this prospect is not merely a speculative thought, it's a pressing reality fueled by escalating challenges. Consider the recent global trends that have already set the stage for upheaval. The ripple effects of a below-average harvest in India caused global scarcity and a dramatic price leap of 50% practically overnight. Fast forward to today, and we're witnessing even harsher conditions influencing not just one but several rice-producing regions globally. For example, the Mississippi Delta, a crucial heartland for U.S. rice cultivation, is grappling with severe drought conditions. These climatic adversities have led to a worrying reduction in rice output by about a third. With dwindling stores and faltering domestic production, rice might rapidly transform from a pantry staple to an unaffordable extravagance, reshaping our shopping habits and stretching grocery budgets to their breaking point. But envision the reality beyond individual consumption. This challenge doesn't stop at the dining table. The implications of a rice shortage penetrate deeper into the culinary sector. Restaurants, especially those offering Asian cuisine, will face the grim reality of hiking prices dramatically or, more direly, closing their doors. School menu planners, who count on rice's affordability, will find themselves scrambling to adjust to these newfound constraints. Families relying on rice for its affordability and nutritional value will need to pivot to costlier, less nourishing alternatives, inflating grocery costs and straining already tight budgets. Imagine a trip to the grocery store in November where a 20-pound sack of rice isn't an easy purchase but a rare commodity, its price multiplied and accessibility snatched away. The looming scarcity isn't just about preparing for immediate needs but ensuring sustained access to essential sources of nutrition amid growing vulnerability in the global food supply chain. It's time to consider our actions to secure food security before rice slides into a category of priceless we hadn't anticipated. 4. Canned beans. Beans are an indispensable part of diets around the world, cherished not only for their nutritional value but also for their affordability and long shelf life. However, looming crises are threatening to turn these pantry staples into rare commodities with skyrocketing prices. Imagine walking into your local grocery store, only to find that the entire section of canned beans has vanished. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario, it's a potential reality if current trends persist. Brazil, a major global supplier of beans, is grappling with severe flooding, while droughts in the U.S. Midwest are adding further pressure to the supply chain. These agricultural setbacks are decimating crop yields, triggering a supply crisis that could have far-reaching implications. We're not merely talking about a shortage. What we're on the brink of is a collapse in an essential food source. By November, the comforting sight of black beans and chickpeas on store shelves may be replaced by alarming gaps. And if they are available, you're looking at a price tag of $5 or more per can if you can snag one at all. History has shown us the potential for rapid inflation back in 2008. A similar agricultural debacle caused prices to quadruple within half a year. The warning signs of another dramatic spike are all around us, and this situation could escalate to the point where canned beans become more than just ingredients for your chili. They might transform into valuable trade items. Non-perishable and protein-rich, these cans could become commodities people would swap other goods for in times of need. Now is the time to start preparing. Just as we witnessed with the toilet paper rush in 2020, when panic buying begins, these cans will fly off the shelves with similar frenzy. So while canned beans are still sitting there at a mere $0.79, don't underestimate their potential value. Stock up before it's too late, because this everyday grocery item might be the crucial resource to support your family through challenging months ahead. 3. Chicken, the protein staple that could soon become a rare commodity. Imagine walking into your local grocery store only to find empty shelves where fresh chicken once sat. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a looming crisis affecting our plates and our wallets. As we navigate through a world with increasing supply chain issues, chicken is now on the endangered list of grocery items, Not just whole chickens, but all variations: breasts, thighs, wings, and even beloved chicken-based items such as nuggets and tenders are edging towards scarcity. So what do you do when chicken, the last remaining affordable protein, is no longer an option? With beef and pork prices already skyrocketing and plant-based options still out of financial reach for many families, this shortage could send shockwaves through our everyday meals. Picture this: a nationwide poultry shortage so severe that stores begin rationing chicken purchases. You might find a sign limiting sales to just 1 pack per family, leaving you to think creatively about meal planning. If action isn't taken soon, you might find yourself in the frustrating situation of staring at empty refrigerated sections, or worse, paying an exorbitant price for what used to be a budget-friendly meal choice. Just imagine a future where your frozen chicken breasts at home are worth their weight in gold. Now is the time to prepare for this impending scarcity. I'm urging you to stock up before you face tough decisions at the checkout line, or before dining out for a chicken dish becomes an extravagant indulgence. Purchase what you can now, stash it in your freezer, and safeguard against what could become a rare and precious commodity. 2 cooking oils crisis: an ingredient in peril. In recent months, the demand for cooking oils across the globe has skyrocketed, creating a pressing shortage of supply. In the United States, supermarket shelves are beginning to tell a troubling story. Grocery stores are seeing their stocks of cooking oils dwindle. For many families accustomed to picking up a $3 bottle of oil for frying, baking, and various kitchen needs, the escalating prices practically racing toward $10 or $15 are an unexpected hit to the household budget. And the situation affects more than just your standard vegetable oil. Olive oil, canola oil, avocado oil, and even once less commonly used oils like grapeseed are getting caught in this supply crunch. Navigating the aisles come November could mean facing starkly bare shelves or encountering strict rationing rules that transform everyday pantry staples into coveted commodities. This situation can feel reminiscent of the time when hand sanitizer prices soared to $20 a bottle during 2020. The reality soon might be one where 48-ounce oil bottles become precious finds, possibly even sparking a black market, driving consumers to search tirelessly between stores or make cross-state trips just to snag a bottle. Restaurants and food manufacturers, grappling with these cost surges, inevitably will pass price hikes to customers, making it so that every fried chicken, every loaf, and every cake becomes either significantly pricier or dissolves from the menu altogether. Headlines are already signaling the industry's attempts at coping. Major food brands are reducing the size of oil bottles and incorporating less costly ingredients to stretch out what little they have. This sparse supply is bound to become the subject of fierce competition, with every household hunting for essential cooking oils, now more valuable than ever. Imagine your kitchen without these staples. The art of frying, sautéing, or baking might drastically change as cooking oils vanish, potentially forcing us into a scenario where every droplet is a precious resource, akin to rationing fuel in a crisis. We prepare for this shift now to stay ahead in the kitchen chaos that may soon unfold. 1. Canned fish. Remember when grabbing a can of tuna or salmon was a no-brainer? Well, brace yourself, because that might soon be a luxury you can only dream of. Let's rewind to 2019. In the Pacific Northwest, a single bad fishing season sent shockwaves through the market. Overnight, shelves emptied, and the price of canned fish doubled in less than 3 months. Fast forward to today, and we're on the brink of a crisis that's exponentially worse. This isn't just about a fleeting moment in history, it's the new reality we all must face. Warmer ocean temperatures are forcing fish to retreat to deeper, more elusive waters, reducing catch sizes drastically. Scientists are sounding alarms, predicting that without intervention, we could witness the extinction of familiar favorites like Pacific salmon within just 5 years. Imagine that: a world without salmon. But the ripple effect of scarcity doesn't stop there. As the availability of these staple seafood items plummets, competition will become fierce, cutthroat even. For businesses like restaurants and food producers heavily reliant on canned fish, this poses a significant dilemma. These companies might have to pass the soaring costs on to you, the consumer, or worse, remove beloved dishes from their menus entirely. We've seen it before. Remember when crab and lobster became unaffordable delicacies. Unfortunately, the spotlight is now on canned fish. Picture this grim scenario: you're strolling down the grocery aisle, eyes scanning the shelves where cans of sardine once gleamed in abundance. But now, they're replaced by vacant spaces, or, if you're lucky, a few cans flaunting eye-popping price tags. The $99 can once a staple in your pantry commands a prestige status, with rationing signs limiting customers to just 2 per purchase. For families seeking an affordable protein source, the tables have turned. The heavy demand could overwhelm even top suppliers, and a pervasive scarcity looms on the horizon.